You thought their story ended at the ranch, but what if I told you it's just the beginning? Beth Dutton and Rip Wheeler, the most intense, loyal, and dangerously in love couple in the Yellowstone universe, are stepping into a brand new world. And this time, it's without the Dutton family, without John's shadow, and without the weight of old secrets. Or is it? The Yellowstone spinoff coming in 2020 promises a deeper look into their scars, love, and choices. But freedom doesn't come without a price, and for Beth and Rip, the cost of peace might be everything they've tried to leave behind. The love story of Beth Dutton and Rip Wheeler has never been soft. It's raw, brutal, and born out of pain. Their connection was never about comfort. It was about survival. When the Yellowstone spinoff was announced, fans around the world hoped for a peaceful, happy ending for these two. But knowing Taylor Sheridan, nothing is ever that simple. The past has teeth. And in this new chapter, it might just bite back harder than ever before. Beth carries wounds she's never truly healed from. Losing her mother at a young age, watching her father drown in power, and growing up in the shadows of a broken family made her sharp, angry, and deeply guarded. Rip, the quiet and deadly ranch hand turned husband, knows what it means to be unwanted, to be discarded, and to build his life on loyalty rather than hope. Together, they made their own version of a home on the Dutton Ranch. But when that foundation begins to crumble, where do they go? In Yellowstone Season 5, we saw them become more united than ever before. Rip stood beside Beth through every chaotic decision she made, no matter the cost. And Beth? She trusted Rip in a way she's never trusted anyone. But that loyalty has always been tested by secrets, bloodshed, and betrayals. The biggest one, the truth about Beth's past abortion and forced sterilization caused by her own brother Jaime. It's something Rip doesn't know. Yet. And now, as the spinoff takes them away from the ranch and into a new land, a ranch of their own, a dream long buried under ashes, this truth threatens to rise. Fans suspect that the spinoff will not just be about building a new home, but about confronting the ghosts that followed them. Can Beth keep the truth buried forever? Or will this fresh start come with emotional explosions that even Rip can't hold together? What's more terrifying is the possibility that Jaime Dutton might not be gone for good. His death at Beth's hands remains one of the most talked about moments of Season 5, but was he really dead? Some fans believe he played dead, escaping Beth's wrath in silence, waiting for his chance to return. If Jaime is alive, if he's watching, then Beth and Rip's new life might already be under threat. What starts as a new chapter could become another battleground. As Beth and Rip step into this next phase, they do so carrying not just their love, but every sin, secret, and scar that shaped them. And even though the land is new, their enemies, both internal and external, are not far behind. In the Yellowstone universe, peace never lasts. And for Beth and Rip, the fight for their future might be the most brutal one yet. Leaving the Dutton Ranch behind wasn't just a shift in location for Beth and Rip. It was a declaration of independence. For the first time in their lives, they're trying to build something that's theirs. Not John's, not inherited, not protected by family legacies, just theirs. A ranch born from grit, ambition, and the desire to finally live on their own terms. But in the Yellowstone universe, nothing ever grows on clean soil. And as this couple plants roots, old weeds are already creeping in. Beth is not the kind of woman to settle. She's fierce, calculating, and always chasing control. And now that she's outside of her father's empire, she's stepping fully into her power. No longer a Dutton by duty, she's ready to become a Dutton by name, a force of her own, wielding land, deals, and destruction with equal grace. Rip, on the other hand, never asked for power. All he wanted was a place to belong. But now he's not just a foreman or shadow behind John's orders. He's the man running a ranch alongside the woman he loves. That kind of responsibility changes a man, and fast. But how do two people who were forged in chaos handle peace? Do they even know how to live in it? Rip has always been Beth's anchor, her safe place in a storm that never really ends. But running a ranch isn't just hard work. It's political, dangerous, and deeply personal. The moment you own land, you make enemies. And Beth, who has spent a lifetime fighting, might just bring more enemies to their doorstep than either of them expect, Land developers, local power players, ghosts from the past, any of them could become threats. And this time, there's no Dutton army to hide behind. Then there's Carter, the boy who came into their lives like a stray dog, wild and wounded, and slowly carved a space for himself in their hearts. In Season 5, we saw Beth begin to accept him, not as a burden, but as a second chance. Rip, who never had a family of his own, embraced Carter with quiet strength. Now, in the spin-off, we might finally see them form the family they never thought they could have. But even that isn't simple. Beth still hasn't told Rip the full story. The one about her inability to have children, the one about how Jaime destroyed her chance at motherhood. Carter may fill a part of that void, but the silence between her and Rip on this issue grows heavier with each day. What happens when that truth finally comes out? Will Rip feel betrayed? Guilty? Will it shake the very foundation of what they're trying to build? There's also the question of Jaime's child. Yes, Jaime had a son, Jaime Jr., with Christina. And Beth, full of rage and pain, once promised to make sure that child never knew his father. In a twisted way, that promise still lingers. Could Beth take drastic action? Could she try to raise that child herself, if only to erase Jaime's legacy completely? Or will she finally let go of her obsession with revenge and focus on the family she already has? The spin-off promises to take us deep into these tensions. Love, loss, resentment, and redemption. Because even as Beth and Rip build their own ranch, they're still fighting battles within themselves. Beth wants to be strong, unshakable, but her past bleeds through the cracks. Rip wants to protect her, but what if the enemy is the truth she's hiding? Every piece of land has a story, and this one, it's soaked in blood, secrets, and the kind of love that can both save and destroy. They thought they left it all behind. The Dutton family chaos, the lies, the blood. But some ghosts don't stay buried, and one of them may be walking around in plain sight. Jaime Dutton. Beth stabbed him. Many believe he's dead, but fans of Yellowstone know better. When someone dies off-screen, especially in Taylor Sheridan's world, there's always room for doubt. There was no blood, no body, just a moment of silence, a rug, and Beth's icy stare. So the question remains, is Jaime truly gone? Or has he been lying in wait, preparing for the moment to strike back? If Jaime is alive, and let's not forget, he's smart, calculating, and desperate, then Beth and Rip's new life is in danger before it even begins. He has every reason to destroy them. Beth took everything from him, his family, his child, his career, and if the spin-off reveals that he's still breathing, then you can bet he'll be coming for vengeance. Quietly, slowly, like poison in water. Even if Jaime never returns, his presence still haunts Beth. Every decision she makes has a trace of that trauma. And Rip, he's completely unaware of the storm that's coming. That's the true tension building in this spin-off. Secrets that fester, waiting for the right moment to explode. But Jaime isn't the only threat. The moment Beth and Rip bought their own ranch, they entered a new world of politics, money, and power struggles. There's no John Dutton here to keep the vultures away. Now they are the ones holding the land, and that land makes them targets. Developers will circle, rivals will scheme, and every handshake will come with a knife behind the back. Beth thrives in war, but Rip, he's not a politician. He's a man of the land, of honor, of action. This contrast between them is bound to become more visible. As Rip focuses on building and protecting the ranch, Beth might fall into her old patterns. Corporate warfare, manipulation, deals made in back rooms with a glass of whiskey in hand. Can their relationship survive if they begin walking two separate paths? Then comes the possibility of betrayal, not from each other, but from those they trust. Carter, growing into a man, might begin asking questions about his place in their lives, about the tension between Beth and Rip, about the legacy he's being pulled into without a choice. And then there's the lingering question of Jaime Jr. Will that child ever cross their path? Will Christina fight to protect him, or will she disappear as Beth makes her next move? And what about the law? The Duttons have always operated in a gray area, protected by legacy, fear, and reputation. But in this new territory, Beth and Rip are outsiders. If something goes wrong, if old enemies reappear or buried crimes resurface, there's no safety net. No name to shield them. Just two people carrying more baggage than they can admit, trying to live a life they were never taught how to build. The most terrifying enemy in this new story might not be Jaime, or a land-hungry developer, or a rival rancher. It might be time. Time spent keeping secrets. Time lost to pain. Time they're running out of as they try to build something real before everything collapses again. This is the storm on the horizon. And Beth and Rip, they're standing right in the center of it, trying to hold each other together while the world around them starts to crack. As the spinoff unfolds, one thing becomes painfully clear. This isn't a fairy tale. It's not the clean, happy ending fans hoped for. Beth and Rip have each other, yes, but the world they've stepped into is far from safe. And love, no matter how deep, doesn't erase pain, silence the past, or protect against the future. The real question is, will their love survive the war they're walking into? Beth has always been fire, sharp-tongued, fearless, unpredictable, but fire destroys as much as it warms. She loves Rip fiercely, but even now she holds back pieces of herself. Her silence about her past, about her pain, about the things that still haunt her, that silence is growing heavier. Rip feels it. He knows something's missing, even if he can't name it. And in the quiet spaces between their kisses, between their laughter and their fights, that weight is pressing down on them both. Rip, for his part, is trying. Always has. He's trying to build the life they never thought possible. A home, a ranch, a family. But Rip is also a man who's never been taught how to dream for himself. His loyalty runs so deep it hurts him. And now that he's no longer a servant to John Dutton's empire, he's facing a new kind of fear. What if this life doesn't work out? What if loving Beth isn't enough to hold everything together? And then there's Carter, the boy who watches them, learns from them, copies their habits and silences. He sees everything, even when they think he doesn't. And as he grows, he'll start asking hard questions about Beth's past, about Rip's demons, about what family really means when everything is built on broken pieces. Can Beth and Rip give Carter the love they never had? Or will they repeat the same damage they're trying to escape? What's so heartbreaking about this next chapter is that Beth and Rip want peace. They want stability. They want to believe that they deserve happiness. But their love was born in chaos, shaped by trauma and tested by blood. Can a love that's been through so much ever learn how to be gentle? The spinoff won't just be about running a ranch. It'll be about confronting the deepest parts of themselves, about learning how to be more than just survivors, about choosing each other every single day, even when it's hard, even when the past knocks on the door. The truth is, Beth and Rip don't know what comes next. And maybe that's what makes this story so gripping. We're not just watching a couple, we're watching two damaged souls trying to write their own ending. And whether it ends in peace or in flames, we'll be right there with them, every step of the way. Sometimes love isn't about flowers or fairy tales. It's about holding someone's hand in the middle of a storm and choosing not to let go, no matter how hard the wind blows. That's what Beth and Rip are. They are chaos. They are scars. They are the kind of love that burns hot, survives the darkest nights, and still keeps standing when everything else falls apart. In this next chapter, we won't just watch them ride horses or run a ranch. We'll watch them heal, break, rebuild, and grow. We'll witness what it means to carry pain and still open your heart. We'll see how love, real love, isn't perfect. It's raw, it's messy, but it's worth it. Beth once said she was born without the gene to be soft, but maybe, just maybe, she doesn't need to be soft to be loved. And Rip, he's proof that even a man who's lived his whole life in someone else's shadow can still find the light, if someone believes in him enough. As the Yellowstone spinoff draws closer, fans aren't just waiting for action or plot twists. We're waiting for moments, those quiet, powerful scenes where two damaged people look at each other and say, "We made it." Maybe not in the way others expected, but in their own way. And that's what makes this story unforgettable. Because Beth and Rip aren't just characters, they're a reminder that even the most broken hearts can find their way home.